Hey Capricorn, thank you for dropping in with me. We're here to do your weekly dive into the Capricorn collective to see what's coming toward you on your path, what experiences are lining up for you, and how you can make best use of the opportunities that find you so you can achieve the most empowering result. Okay, so this is for any significant Capricorn placement, or if you have a prominent 10th house placement. Likewise, if you are a Cancer rising, that makes you a Capricorn descendant, and so you can find resonance with this read. Let's just do it. Let's dive into it. Let's just do it. Maybe you're deciding to take the leap on something. Screw it. Let's just do it. Maybe you've been pondering something for a while. You've been trying to make up your mind. Maybe you've been in two minds about something. You're finally deciding, let's just do it. Good for you. Okay. It's good to move into that place of decisiveness. So let's see, what are you making a firm, definitive decision on, Capricorn? Oh, you're cutting off some sex witch octopus. Okay. You feel like somebody's energy has gotten to be a little too clingy. You not liking the vibe here. Maybe you were trying to work it out with this person for a while. You were hoping that maybe it would start to feel a little different, the interaction between the two of you. And now you're like, yeah, not so much. Let's just do it. Let's just close this out. This isn't working. Okay, let's see. What is coming in relation to this for Capricorn? So it looks like you're ending some connection. Maybe you were refraining from ending a particular connection because you thought, maybe you were being a little judgmental in the situation, or you thought maybe things would improve in the connection. 22, I want to say it's 2 on the clock. So there's something here that you really realized wasn't in alignment with you. You thought it was one way at first, and then as you got to know this person a little bit more, you're like, I don't know, their energy is a little clingy. Yeah, you almost felt like this person was maybe looking for a mommy in this situation with woman breastfeeding, a VCR. There is something that's like, okay, I've played that role in relationships in the past, been there, done that, don't even have the t-shirt to show for it. I don't feel like getting into the same kind of dynamic that I'm already familiar with. Like, this kind of connection is like a dime a dozen with the random clip art. I've seen it all before. I don't want the same old, same old. I'm looking for a cut above the rest. We got a giant sperm fighting a dove. You felt like this connection was maybe going to hold you down, anchor you down to an old version of yourself, and it just doesn't work anymore. You've grown. You're looking to elevate. You're looking for something a little bit more, all right? And I feel like this thing just, as much as you wanted it to be that, it's just not that. And you're recognizing that. I do feel like this energy is really releasing, releasing any sense of like reticence when it comes to trying to get you to stick around, though. This energy might be kind of like springing up to really, hold on while it can, kind of a vibe I got there. It just feels like somebody doesn't want to release you. Not entirely, all right? They still want to have some kind of connection to you, some kind of tie to you, all right? I think that you're trying to bring this thing to an end with death, okay? You've gone through this multiple times with this person where you've really tried to end something, and it's just like they keep holding on. They won't let go. Oh, yeah. And, we got a woman posing as a bunch of cats here, right, in the reverse. So, I think that this person has shown you many different faces. They've shown you many different sides of themselves. It's sort of like you never know what you're going to get with this person. But you've been through this scenario so many times. Maybe this person's always saying, well, I can change. Like, this can get better. We can work it out like this. And you just know what you're getting here. This person will wear a mask and they'll say whatever they have to say in order for them to get their way. It's this kind of a situation. And where you were willing to, put up with this for a while, you're not willing to be in the hot seat anymore or deal with any kind of mess that comes in connection to this person. I feel like you're really just calling it quits on something here. It looks like you're calling it quits on a particular connection that you just know, like, no, there is no changing this. It is what it is. But this person is kind of like not so willing to let this go. They keep saying that they're not like the rest, or that they'll somehow, you know, do things differently this time. Yeah, you know, yeah, no, you know, this is the thing where it says, you know, this card is definitely about sex. So I do feel like this is an opportunity to reconnect with somebody, or to maybe kick something off on that level with somebody that you've been sort of holding in this holding pattern for a bit. Like, you've been trying to make up your mind, like, should I do this? Is it worth it? This looks a lot like what I've dealt with before. It could be that too. It doesn't have to be somebody you've been with before. It's just like they really remind you of something you've already dealt with, and you're like, nah, I don't know if I want to go down this road again. Okay, you're pondering this, but I also see that you've been growing a lot, and your viewpoints are changing about what you want to, in terms of just who you're going to give access to your energy like that. Who are you willing to connect with on that level? You know, what does that mean to you? You know, what does it mean to be intimate with somebody? And you're really starting to get a different perspective here. I feel like you've been going through, you know, a huge growth process here. And you've been trying to decide, do I, you know, hang this thing up? Am I done with this? You know, am I done with this? Or do I want to take this opportunity? So I feel like you're weighing this up. You're trying to make up your mind. And it is like, you know, this dangling carrot. It's a golden carrot. Do you want the golden carrot? But look at here. You're really considering like cutting this off. And in fact, you might be a little bit defensive around this energy here with the baseball goat. You're like, no. I recognize this. I know what happens when I go down this road. You know, it seems promising at first, but in the end, I'm the one who ends up effed in this situation. So I feel like you're kind of in two minds, you know, with this, really. I see this like you got one foot moving forward and the other one, you know, is heading back. So it's sort of like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. I don't know why I got this. Maybe you've been doing a lot of pacing too. Maybe you've been doing a lot of pacing, sort of like kind of talking something out with yourself, and you've been pacing and trying to like figure out the solution to this situation. You feel like, I just don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to deal with this anymore. You're very adamant about you don't want to deal with a certain scenario anymore, because you know that it's not all is cracked up to be. And you've been fed a lot of lines in this situation. A lot of promises have been made. There's always this thing like, oh, it can be different, or oh, it'll be better, or oh, it'll transform. And it never does. It's just the same thing. You're tired of this scenario. You're tired of this scenario. You want the real deal. I feel like there's something more that you're wanting in this situation, and you recognize if I keep entertaining this, it's just sort of like holding a place card for more of this kind of BS, and I don't want this in my life. So if I want something different, I kind of have to make the space for it. I feel like you're separating the wheat from the chaff, and you're letting go of some things that maybe you've been sort of holding in that like, well, maybe zone for too long. And now you're just really getting definitive about it. Is it yes or is it no? And you're sort of like knocking these things out of the park one by one. I mean, we got the wet pants here. So this does have a lot to do with like what turns you on, you know? What kind of connections are you wanting? And maybe there's also a little bit of fear around letting go of what have been some sure things. I got that, but at the same time, you're not wanting this anymore. You're wanting something more exciting, Capricorn. Okay, let's do a cut of the deck here and see what we got. Yeah, I mean, we got a cat licking its own butt for eternity here. So you feel like it's the same view. And it ain't pretty, you know. I don't want to keep doing the same thing. This has become monotonous. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It's not what I'm looking for, okay? Yeah, and actually, you're celebrating the ending of this with the birthday corpse. So there's some connection that you're bringing an end to here. I also feel like Ted just said yes on that. And I think you feel good about it. But I think as this thing is nearing the completion, this other person is now feeling sort of like clingy, like now they're like, I don't know if I want to let this go, or maybe they're putting things, you know, in the way to try to slow things down, or they're trying to do, you know, things where they can still have an in with you, you know, this kind of energy. And you're starting to realize that there's something here that feels very circuitous. And if you really want to move forward in the way that you want to move forward and have the kind of connections you want to have and really feel like you're moving in the direction that feels like, yeah, you know, this is right for me, 11:11 on the clock, because there is something that wants to come into alignment for you here. I feel like for you, it is your golden carrot, right? It is that thing that maybe has always been just out of reach. But once you let this go, suddenly that thing that's always been out of reach comes into view for you. This person's held you back. They've held you back. And you might have felt a little sorry for them at times. Like you might have felt like a certain sense of duty to this person to like show up, be there for them. But something is really becoming monotonous and it's not what's working for you anymore. I see you celebrating the ending of this. Actually, it feels really good to you. I see you celebrating some ending where the other person is maybe now suddenly having a hard time with it. All right. Interesting. All right, let's get out the glow in the dark tarot here and get some more details. Yeah, somebody's feeling really disillusioned in this situation. You could be dealing with a Pisces. You could be dealing with a Cancer. This could be something that's really coming up right now in Pisces season. I think you're finally seeing something really clearly and you're trusting your intuition on this. And for another person, it's disillusioning, you know. They're finally like dealing with the emotional repercussions of the situation I got. That's interesting. Maybe this is something that's been in process for a while, you know. It's like this ending was coming. You've known about it, they've known about it, but as it gets closer to that deadline, it's like something shifting on the other side. Now the other person is suddenly dealing with their emotions around the situation. Maybe they were really numbed off from what they were feeling around this before, and now all of a sudden they're like feeling super clingy. They're starting to talk about ways that it could still work out. I feel like this person is wanting to maintain some kind of connection, but you're sort of feeling like it might be better to have a clean cut. Okay, I got that. I got that. There's something you have to pursue alone, you know, and this is going to slow you down. That's what I got. Yeah. You don't see a way to move forward with the Two of Wands in reverse. Like this person doesn't factor into this and in fact could be a blockage to it. Okay. This could be somebody you were getting to know. And at first it felt like, ooh, yeah, you know, this is exciting. This could be what I've been looking for. And then it's like as time goes on, you're starting to spot certain like familiarities that you're like, I don't want to have that experience again. That's what I got. Okay. Or this is a relationship that you've been in the process of closing it out. And it's one of those situations where it wasn't working for either person, but now as it's getting close to really calling it quits and drawing those final lines in the sand, like now this person is becoming very clingy. Maybe they relied on you a lot. Maybe you were really a support to them. And so there was a bit of attachment there, a little bit of unhealthy attachment, even though it doesn't work. I don't really feel like it works for either of you, to be honest. I don't feel like this really works for either of you in this situation, but somebody's having a hard time letting it go as you're celebrating the freedom. It's interesting. Okay, now we got a bunch of stuff coming out, and with that we had the Fool come out crossing this, and it's coming out upright. So yeah, I mean, you're very clear about what's here at the crossroads. Like you're ready to cross that line. You're not staying put. You're in this Fool energy. It's a brand new cycle for you. It's a brand new chapter for you. You might even be going on some trip. I feel like you're also traveling light, you know, you're not carrying any of the burdens from the past forward with you. And you're feeling really optimistic at this time. It's like as you keep moving forward, you start to feel more light, more free. It's like, yes, this is what I've been needing. Like, this is what I've been looking for. I've just been wanting to hit reset. I just want a fresh start. I want everything brand new. There's this sense like you want everything brand new. You're ready to head into unfamiliar territory, and that's exciting for you. And some of you are wanting to travel more, and maybe you're ready to make some major decisions that some other people in your life are having issue with. Maybe you want to make a big move, and there's people around you that really have a problem with that because they've been very reliant on you in some way, shape, or form. You might want to go for a particular job opportunity that, you know, is very out of pocket, very different from what your family thinks you should do. And you're like, no, this is right for me. And I need to head in this direction. But there is this like spirit of heading in a new direction. It excites you. It's something different. You feel optimistic about it. And it's like the first time in a long time that you feel like the sun shining down on you. And you're moving into this lighter, brighter, you know, time in your life. And here trailing behind you is this person who's like giving you all the reasons why you shouldn't do it. And they're giving you all kinds of cautions, and they're nipping at your heels, and they're not ready for you to sort of like get these wings and fly. That's what I got. Okay. And coming in with this, we have another crossing energy. Yeah, strength. Okay. And this is related to the past. And when we have the past in reverse like this is like somebody wants things to be the way they were, but they're not the way they were. They're different. And you could be dealing with a Leo here, could be really struggling with your decision to move forward. They could be having a hard time with this. And you just feel like this connection doesn't work for me. Like in some way, I'm compromised by this connection. Like I'm not valued, I'm not respected. I feel like I'm out of my element. This just doesn't work for me. And you may have for a really long time, you know, made it all about this person, and you really catered to them and you considered their needs, and it was always about making sure they were all right. And you're like, at some point I have to stop doing that, and I have to let you do that for yourself, and I have to really stand up on my own and, you know, put my crown back on, you know who I am, and go and, you know, recover the essence of who I am, which is you being the, you know, captain of your ship. You get to direct your course. There's something here that you're releasing, but somebody's having a really hard time with what's being released here. I feel like they kind of went on autopilot for a while. That's what I'm getting. Like they were numbed out to this ending. And now the gravity of it is hitting them, and they're like taken back. And it's fear, you know, it's fear of letting go of the binky. I don't know why I got that, but it's that kind of energy, like just wanting that security. It's the fear of releasing the security that's really acting up for this person. Oh, yeah. Whoever this is really keeping an eye on you. We got the Page of Swords in reverse. Okay, this is somebody who is obsessively like wanting to know what you're doing. They could even be on the verge of snooping. This could be going on online. You know, they're just really wanting to know what your next moves are, who you're talking to, what's going on here. And, you know, like I said, they're having a hard time with you moving away from this connection. Like they don't want you to move away. And in some cases, they don't want you to move. Like you might be coming into alignment pretty soon here with an opportunity for you to make a big move, as in a geographic move. Okay. And because of this, somebody's having a really hard time with this. They don't want to be left behind. This could even be a mother. You could have a mother that's guilt tripping, you know, or, you know, somebody who's really dependent on you. Maybe you played, like I said, that role. You kind of like mommied them, like you took care of this person. They don't want you to move away. There's something about this here, but you know that to kind of continue this connection, it weighs you down. It's burdensome. It stresses you out, and you're wanting to, you know, distance yourself from this. But I'm telling you, you're dealing with somebody who doesn't want to let this go. So I feel like this is your big challenge, man. This is what's coming up for you. You're wanting to release something and somebody doesn't want you to let go. And they're clinging right now. All right. Let me do a cut of the deck here and see if there's any more clarity about this. Yeah. It could be because of security. All right. Financial security. You know, maybe this person relies on you in that way. And they feel like, you know, if you are out of the picture, then they're going to be in a real rough spot, right? Cut of the deck. Three of Pentacles. They want to propose some way to work this out, and they're going to put this on the table, and you're like, no. I feel that really strongly. You're like, no, I don't want to heal this. I want to celebrate the ending of this because that's what brings me personal satisfaction. And that's what's been missing for me for a long time is my own personal fulfillment. You know, no. I don't see you going for this. I see you heading straight forward, you know, with a lot of passion. Your heart's connected. You're finally feeling more freedom in the heart space. You've been tapped into your intuition. You know exactly what you want to come in for you, okay? And you're looking out toward the horizon because you know that, you know, this is about you moving forward according to your vision, not this, you know, third wheel here who has their own ideas about what that should look like. This is about you taking charge of your life. And there is something coming in for you that's going to bring you a lot of happiness. And I do feel like you're celebrating this ending. And again, distant horizons. So, you know, there could be some important trip on the horizon. I keep picking up a moving piece, though. You might be moving. And you might be moving quite a distance. You might feel like you do need to move a distance to just kind of get some distance from this person as well. Like you might feel like I'm too tapped into a particular community here, or, you know, you're just wanting a different view for your life. You want to have a different kind of perspective. And there's so much that you want to explore, and there's so much you want to experience. And you know that it's not by going back from where you just came and where you closed things out, right? So do be on the lookout for this. I feel like you're dealing with somebody, 22:44 on the clock. You definitely are coming into alignment. You've made the right choice in this situation. I think you're going to have a lot of synchronicities coming in to just affirm this for you, that you were right to close this out. I do feel like there's some opportunity coming in for you. And when this opportunity comes in, it really brings you a lot of personal fulfillment. It really is an affirmation that, yes, I did the right thing by closing this out. And I see there could be a big move on deck. It might first come in as a trip, okay? You go on a trip to explore an opportunity. And when you go on this trip, you're like, oh, this is it, man. I definitely want to head in this direction. And then from there, things just line up and you don't got nothing weighing you down anymore. It's like all systems go. It was 23:33 on the clock when I brought that in. So this is a big change for sure. Some people may think it's really abrupt. They might think it's very unexpected. They never saw this coming. They're used to you just like being like the real like slow, steady, stable one. But I think when you are really aligned with your North Node, like it just clicks. Like there's no hesitation on your part. When you know it, you know when you know it, you just jump on it and get ready to jump because something